So anxiety. Anxiety is not very good. Anxiety is pretty horrible. One of the things here is sleeping. What do you do with sleeping? Well, you can spend an hour or two staring at the ceiling and actually try and get your brain worked down so it's run down to try and get to sleep. I used to go on the computer to try and do that, but now I realise that makes it even worse. So now I just try and go to sleep as naturally as possible, and you still spend hours staring at the ceiling and hoping for the best. And eventually you drop off. And then you hope you don't wake up at 3 in the morning when your brain's been working for a while and it thinks it's awake, and then you're staring at the ceiling or you're staring down at the pillows for a bit longer, probably an hour or two till about 5, maybe 6, then maybe you drift off again and you're awake at 7:30 because I'm an early riser, I have it. So you have that fun thing. And if you do actually get more sleep than that, well, you've got the dreams. The dreams tend to be hyperactive, so you wake up, after you wake up you think, why is my body so stressed? Why do I feel so anxious? So that could be getting to sleep, your body's really anxious, so that's what puts you off getting to sleep. So you have to try and meditate, you have to try and do breathing exercises all the time to try and get rid of the tension before you get to sleep. Then when you get to sleep, your mind goes mad, so you end up, the sleeping's not great. Then the sleeping's hyper, so you wake up and you feel, why is my body so stressed? Why does it feel like I've had a kick-in? Well, that's because you've felt like you've had a kick-in. So that's what happens. So that's fun. So you feel stressed at 3 in the morning, feeling that your body's kicking. Why is my leg sore? Why is my arm sore? Why is my fingertips sore and tingly? Am I having a heart attack? I don't know. It's just anxiety. That's the way it goes. So anxiety continues on and on and on. Again, you have to do the breathing exercises, get back to sleep. Eventually, if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, maybe you get to sleep and you'll have the same thing. You end up waking up feeling stressed. And you wonder, well, what were my plans today? Which were probably not much. And they're probably ruined anyway because you're so stressed you wake up. Every so often you try and do exercises to make yourself feel better. But that's only if you haven't had a really, really stressful night, which you normally have had. So then you have to try and put something on at night if you care what you put on. Which you don't, you just chuck anything on, don't really pay attention. And then you try and force yourself to try and go and get something to eat, but you really can't be bothered in the morning. Really. And you're wandering around feeling stressed out of your mind and stressed out your gut, and you're trying to get your brain working. And that's the good part of the day. I mean, the bad part is the rest of the day. The good part is the early morning, when you at least have some freshness, even though you're knackered or your body's really, really sore and stressed. And then that'll continue, because now after 11 you've been up for a while, so you've lost all your energy. So you've got all this stressful body while having no energy. And that works your brain, and your brain's going out of control and it's obsessing over a little thing. Let's say there's something over there you need to fix. There's a DVD, it needs to be pushed back a bit, so because you're going a bit OCD. But what happens there? Well, you go OCD, you have to try and fix it. You stay on it for half an hour because you're thinking about it. Should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? And it's really stupid. You know it's really stupid, but you can't help yourself. You're going to keep on doing it. So you've got that. And a lot of time you have to try out a habit and go and eat something, even though you really can't be bothered. Now, I like eating, as you can see, my body's. But some days I can't be bothered. A lot of days I can't be bothered. A lot of days I can't be bothered with most things. Then you do something, then you have to try and anticipate what's going to happen, so you get stressed, you think about it, you anticipate everything you could possibly be doing. And that stresses you out before you've even done it. So you've got that. If you get to do anything, you have no energy for it, you have no appreciation for anything you're doing. So exhaustion continues and continues and continues and continues. So you fit yourself in this little room, and that's all you've got is this little room. Continue into this little room because that's the safe part. You have to deal with people. People can be awkward, people can be annoying, and people are just people, and you're just paranoid about them, like you're in a horror movie, and you're not. You're just your brain's just going mental on you. So what else can you do? Not much. You can look at images and hope to transcend that. You hope to use your love of imagery to try and do something. But that's not a solution either, it's just images, it's just images. So what do? You just keep going again and again and again and again. And that's all there is. Just anxiety. And more anxiety, and more and more and more and more. And you have to try to avoid feeling self-pity, because there's people watching you, because what I've got is mild compared to a lot of people. Some people are suicidal, some people are just crazy, and just anxious. Sometimes depressed, but mainly anxious. Anxious, why I'm anxious? Probably it's irrational, so you don't know why you're anxious, you're trying to take away everything that made you anxious. But it's still there, and it's still chewing away, and your brain's just going to keep going and going and going and going and going. And whatever you do, you try and avoid the anxiety. That'll make you anxious as well. So you still have to keep trying. So you try and do things to avoid the anxiety that makes you more anxious. You're going to keep doing it. If you don't do anything, you feel worse. If you do something, you feel worse. So it's continual, and you keep going and going and going, day in, day out, day in, day out, and hope for the best. Eventually, something might happen good. So that's sweet, sweet anxiety. That's fun, fun anxiety. The problem with day-to-day anxiety is you've got anxiety. Really. It's the same thing day in, day out. Every same day, the same. Every little moment's the same. Every little thing. So you can catch certain things. Like, okay, I was okay today, which means there's a good chance I've built enough stress that'll build my body so that tomorrow I won't feel so good. That's really what it is. It's like playing the odds of I felt good today, I'll feel bad tomorrow. Or I feel bad today, I'll probably feel worse tomorrow. I'll try and meditate. I'll try and exercise. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't work. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. See, because sometimes you'd have, you know, a morning where you're actually feeling quite good. Maybe you got some sleep. Maybe your dreams weren't so bad and you were, you know, not awake for too long. Your dreams were kind of very quick and you never really dreamed much, or you can't remember it. And you wake up, your body doesn't feel like it's sore all over. That's nice. And you think, well, I can do something. Maybe I can do some exercise, or I can do something. But then it goes away quickly because maybe you think of something that worries you and that starts to turn and turn and turn. It can be something simple, it can be something little, like you have to go and do something, even in the house, even turn on the computer and do something. But that can, the stress of having to do that means you have to do it. And maybe you don't want to do it, maybe there's something else, maybe you're tired, you're getting tired, maybe, you know, something is stopping you from doing it. So that turns and turns in your head until you do it, and then you're relieved. But maybe doing it, or maybe the stress of doing it creates other stress, which rolls on to somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else. And that's your day-to-day. Your day-to-day really is what's going to stress me out, even if I felt okay when I woke up, which is rare. I usually feel slow when we wake up. But that's the problem, the stress. The stress is always there, it's always building, it's like an animal, it's in your head all the time, grinding away, so you can be watching someone to relax, and some little thought gets in your brain and it grinds away. So you're just no longer watching what you're watching. You're just, your eyes are glazed over it. You're thinking, and it's continuous. It's all the time. You're always going and going and going, and it's horrific. And even talking about it makes you feel that way because you know it's coming again. It's always coming. So what do? You survive it. You just survive it. Survival is the main thing day to day. Survival is the only really thing you've got, is just to keep going, find something to relax to. And when you find something to relax to, it's not something that will clear your body of stress, it's something that will keep the stress at bay, really. It's just keeping it at bay, slightly at bay, so you're not sore all the time. So you take the pills your doctor gives you. I'm sure they help, but they're just background stuff now, so you take them. You don't take, if you forget to take anything, you feel in your body. So at this point it just becomes, that's something you need to survive. It's not helping you, it's just hindering the effects of what you're doing in your head. So I just take it something now and just so I know I've taken them. But you don't, it's just to keep you as even as possible. It doesn't really help you. What will really help you is to try and work out what's the matter with your brain. Because your brain is random, there's no real point to it because you get stressed out with something logical, you get stressed out with something illogical, so you know it's illogical, and that's the worst one. It's a grind of something's wrong, it's stupid, something's wrong. It's really stupid, but I have to keep thinking about it, That's the problem. That. And it's always something dumb. The dumb ones are the worst because you can't not think about them. And even though you know it's the wrong thing to be thinking about, something that might worry, something someone said that you get upset about, even though you shouldn't be upset about, because you're misrepresenting your head. And a lot of times because you've got a lot of anger below the surface, which is something you have to try and get ahead of. But you can't because you're not quite sure what's causing the anger. But you know it's there, so it's a good way to get the anger out. But getting anger out means you're actually making it worse because you're not really getting it out, you're just punishing your body with anger and making it worse. It's not going anywhere, it's just going to your body and making it worse and worse, making you sore. You get angry at yourself for falling for the stupid trap of being angry with someone who's stupid in the first place. And that keeps you going day after day after day. And that's what always gets you. And then you have to go to doctors, then you have to go to whatever you have to do in life to try and survive. They're just this blood in the background you have to deal with, but it's not really what you're focused on, it's just something you have to try and deal with. The frustration doing that, it frustrates you as well, and that's something that keeps it focused on your brain and it makes you worse because you're thinking that too. There's all this stupid stuff and it keeps going and going and going. There's a wheel that keeps turning. And why are you doing it? What's the problem? What are you trying to get your system? You don't really know because it is anger. The way I love is self-pity. I mean, it's always self-pity. You can always think everything you're thinking of is justified, everything you're thinking of you have a right to be angry about, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're just stupid and your brain's hurting you intentionally because you hate yourself in some way because of the mistakes you made, for the things you haven't done in your life and all of that. And that comes in as well, and that causes you to get angry at silly things and you focus and you hurt people you love because you're angry, you're furious, and just wait for them to say something to annoy you so you can really explode at them. That makes you so, because you feel guilty. You have to apologise to them because you feel guilty. They know what's going on, but you feel guilty. And if you have to go out, it's even worse because then you're thinking of, oh God, I have to go out. What am I going to do when I go out? And you think about what could happen when you go out, and it's horrifying. And so you stay in and you get these same thoughts, and it's not very healthy because you know the stupid stuff. Most of the day is stupid. Because you're not going out, so you're not seeing anyone new, you're not creating new memories, new relationships. You're just focus was right there in your head, and that's not healthy. So what do? It's just the day-to-day of anger and frustration and rage. So you have to try and find your way out of that. And that's a hard place to be in. And the worst thing is, it's probably your own fault, and it's been building for years. It's things you never notice, things you say, I'll go over, and they build and build and build for years, and by the time you realise, it's the problem's got too big for you, and you're trapped, and you know it's going to take a while to actually get through all those problems, and you try to work out what the problems actually are, what's causing these issues. And just one of the things that causes these issues is you don't feel comfortable in this world, because this world's pretty horrible at times, and most of the jobs you can do you hate, and your brain won't accept you doing them because your brain's just want something more from life, and it becomes this mechanism of anger which comes back at yourself because it's your fault, it's no one else's fault, it's your fault, so that's your viewpoint, and that becomes the problem day to day, as a lot becomes your fault, and that's what makes it hard to move on, because you just assume it's your fault. And it is anxiety, and more anxiety, and more. So, you do exercises. Not very good ones. The idea is to try and stay fit. And you wonder why you have to try and stay fit. What's the point? What is the point? Is there much of a reason for it, since you spend most of the time stretching God? Is there a proper reason? Is there any real reason other than habit, which becomes habit? Now, your family members quite like the idea of you doing exercises or meditating. I prefer meditating than exercises. Meditating is fun. I like breathing slowly, and you feel all the bad gases come out of your gut. That's good. But the rest of the time, it's exercises. And I like meditating where you just close your eyes and breathe, and you start to relax a little bit. You're not thinking about anything until you think about something and you wish you hadn't thought about that. But then you start to breathe again and it flows away. If only that could happen in real life. Outside of meditation. Because outside of meditation, when you think of somebody, it goes. But when you're in meditation, it's nice. I can meditate anywhere now. In a car or anywhere. I'm pretty good at meditating anywhere now. It's just an attitude. And even just stretching, trying to do something, try and allow my body to exercise a little bit. Not much, just a little bit. Just something to make you feel like you're doing something that will keep the body working for a while. But you forget most days. Basically, I eat twice a week. I feel good, because usually if you've had a bad night, you don't want to do it. If you've been stressed, your body feels like it's been hammered, you won't do it. If you haven't slept much, you won't do it. If you just feel off, you probably won't do it. So you're relying on your brain to let you do it twice a week, and then when you do it, you feel good because you've done it. And you're actually feeling as if you actually got something done. But it doesn't last very long. The high of that, and then you're back to feeling rubbish. Sometimes you do push-ups, sometimes you stretch, you do this, better than that. You stretch your back muscles, you try and get on your stomach and do this, and stretch your back and do cat poses and all that stuff. You try and do everything to get your brain working, because it's really, the idea is your body's working, your brain works better. It kind of works, but you usually feel too depressed to do it half the time. And you think after you've done it you'll feel good all day, and you don't. Again, like meditation, you get an hour. You're thinking, oh, I'm feeling good, I'll be good today. And then something happens, and you get stressed, and it's and it doesn't work. It's not a quick fix solution. The idea is you keep doing it, and you slowly get better. Slowly, you improve. So you go on the computer, you go onto Google or whatever. What do? You just get bored. And what are you going to do with this? You're probably going to spend money. Why are you going to spend money? Who knows? I mean, you can go onto, let's say, eBay, look for something cheap, look at these old things you've looked at, wondering, is it cheap enough to buy? What's all these other things going? Things you've no interest in, like these toys. And then again, you may actually see something silly you may enjoy. But usually not. It's usually, you know, these cheap DVDs of things that will give you a little buzz, a little hit. And why is that the case? Because these are the things that interest you. That's your justification. You don't buy what doesn't interest you. If you buy what interests you, that gives you the buzz. That makes you feel you're doing something right in your life. It makes everything feel right. Unfortunately, you don't get a buzz every week or every day you do it. You get the buzz, the constant buzz of, I need this, I need this, I need something. What do you really need? Don't really need any of this. This is just objects, the objects that interest you, the things that fascinate you. You can get this obscure movie, that obscure movie, because I'm a movie guy. It's this obscure thing, that obscure thing. Something's obscure, something is unique. If I get that, I'll feel happier. Or okay, I'll get that and that and that, and I can get them all the same postage. Well, that's great. Then you go and do it again next day and next day. And why are you doing it? Yeah, you get stuff that interests you. Yeah, you're filling your life with stuff to actually keep interested. I mean, keep interested is really important. I mean, it's the thing that will drive you from going nuts just thinking about silly things all day. You know, or you can meditate, try and say, oh, I'm better than this, I can do stuff, I can be calmer, I don't need to buy anything. But then, you know, you go back to your brain going on and on and on. So even after you meditate, only meditate for so long, 10, 15 minutes, that's it. And then for a while you feel good. Then for a while you feel like things are going well for you, things are going right, everything's wonderful. What's great about everything? But the problem is, it goes away, it fades. And we're talking an hour at most before it fades. And you've got agitation. Agitation's building on again, but agitation is just constantly at you. Maybe it's even a few hours, maybe a few hours out there, and then it's like, I need something else, I need this, something to keep my brain going. Maybe I can lie back and relax a bit, so maybe it's a few more hours. But then your curiosity hits. You're still waiting for things to come to post. It'll probably be a week before they arrive, maybe 5 days, you know. So, and what have you got that's already arrived? Well, they look interesting, but you're not really fully watching them, so maybe in a year or two you'll watch them. So you need something else to give the hit so you can feel like you're doing something. And why are you doing that? It's because you don't know. When you're curious, when you're genuinely curious, you want to get all these DVDs of things that are curious, different cultures, different interests, different things you don't know about. I mean, it's generally not just, I want to buy this because I want to buy it. But there's also that element of, I want to buy it because I want to feel obscure. I want to feel that something's interesting going on here, something's unique, something's fascinating. But is it really? I mean, can you do without? And it's like, yeah, because you do without all the time. You've done it before, but you were full of anxiety. It was fine. You found someone else to do. You know, you can do it again, but you don't want to. And agitation comes. There's that emotion of, I need something because I don't want to be sitting with my thoughts. And sitting with your thoughts are the worst thing. Sitting with your thoughts are the horrible thing, because you might actually start thinking about what's wrong with your life. And it's not just thinking about that, it's thinking about that without the, you know, the edge is taken off. And you do that, you're going to feel really depressed. So it's easier to the edges on of things that interest you. And it's not just one thing that interests you, it's lots of things. It's always curiosity. It's always curiosity. You need to get more and more things to keep your interest going so you don't face up to what's wrong with your life. And there's lots of things wrong with your life. And you don't want that cold hard fact of what's your real problems. And that sounds bland when you say it, but it's kind of true. Because there's not just one real problem, there's tons of real problems, there's lots of problems. And you kind of have to, you don't want to deal with them, you don't want to look at them. So, constantly saying what can give me joy to take away from that coldness of sitting with yourself, not doing anything for months, and working on yourself. That's horrific, that's horrible. And most people don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to keep going and try and find something interesting out of it. Use my brain, finding ways to get my brain working again and keep my curiosity going, because that means I don't look at the darker stuff. Maybe there's a way to get through this without looking at the darker stuff. And that probably is a solution, is to not focus always on darker stuff, work on it, but work on it with moderation, and you can slowly get through it. So if you take away the crutch, it means you've taken away, you're going brutally into something that you're not ready for. So what do? You rely on the crutch, because you think, well, I need this crutch to keep going, and I can keep working on what I'm working on. But when you're not actually working on stuff you're working on the crutch, and you keep throwing it in the trap. You find ways to avoid that trap, then when you're not looking too carefully, you fall back into the trap. And that's always the problem. So you're always on the computer. You're always looking for something new, something to keep your brain going. So you're not buying things you don't need. It's constant. And lots of people with anxiety has this problem. I need this to help myself, I need that to help myself. We don't really, we need this to be curious with things. And by being curious with things, you feel you can process what's wrong with you and get to the next step. So it's not so simple to say, oh, this thing is the solution. It's not the solution, but it's part of the solution, but you're abusing it horribly. Which always brings you back to, this could be the solution. So you never get better unless you're very careful. And once you go too far, you have to realise, I have to start being very careful. Which is a process I'm at just now. Trying to be very careful. And failing sometimes, doing well other times. But at least if you know that's the process, that's the grind you've been in, then you've a chance of getting somewhere. But you'd see the grind, get into and fall for it, and think you've seen it, not realising you've stopped fooling yourself, because you can't fool yourself all the time. So it's a case of slowly grinding back to the right balance, so your curiosity is still sated, which will help you work on what's the problem, but you don't use a clutch as another part of the problem. Going out is the worst. It really is. If you look here, you see the images of people where you can go out to, what's available. There's a lot of stuff available, but it's not available. What it is there, but your mind won't let you go there because you really need to go do something else, which is stay at home, which is not the best thing to be, really isn't. You see, the problem is, what you see here are images. Images are just images. They're not. They're images of things you can go to, things you can do. But when you see that, you think, okay, how do I respond here? Where do I go? What's the problem here? What are the things that will cause me problems going there? What will cause me anxiety? What will cause me real problems here? What is this possible solutions? How do you get there? You know, how you get there is, I don't know. You see, when you're told you need to go somewhere, let's say a doctor's appointment, even though it's only like 5 minutes, it doesn't take long to do the doctor's appointment. You're thinking about, how do I get to the doctors? What do I do? There's people there. I'm going to be anxious. So you're going to be anxious all day the day before. And if it's something where you haven't been before, you're going to be anxious 3 weeks before. Or as soon as you hear about it, and it's going to be, how do I explain this? Why do I do this? How do I do this? And you're planning, you're writing stuff down, and you're thinking how to get through this as quickly as possible, as painlessly as possible for any simple interaction. Which means it's just images. So all it is just images in your head. How do I get through this thing? What do I do? How's the way through this problem? And you're seeing people's images of things that are out, not to get you, but potentially, but also the things that are going to cause you anxiety. You're not really viewing them as people, you're viewing them as objects. So you have to plan ahead, plan ahead, plan ahead. Get to the point of what the problem is, try and figure it out, try and get to the issue. And the issue usually is, I don't want to be there, I don't want to go. So you take images and you can see things, you can see where you're meant to go, but you can't get there. It becomes a real problem because you're just seeing these things, that places you have to go, and going out causes over planning but anxiety, and usually you end up not going because the planning makes your brain go, and basically you limit yourself to going places you've been before because you feel like you're secure there, like you know where you're going with those places. You don't have to worry too much with those places. They're solid for you. They're the places that are safe. The safe areas. That's all they are. They're safe. That's all you have to be, is somewhere safe. And it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And that's not much fun. Because you end up stuck back where you are. You're stuck in this one place, and that's all you've got, is stuck in this one place. These set of images of what the world is. And you're looking at images to try and get better, but it's kind of a trap because you're just seeing images that are interpretations by other people. And you're not really seeing it for yourself anymore, you're just seeing images. And whatever you interpret the real world as isn't really the real world, it's just your anxiety about the world. It's just this thing that you're anxious about what people will say, what will they do, and they're not really thinking about you at all. They don't care. You're just someone, one of many to them. Doesn't really matter to them. But in your head, it's always you try to work out how did it get this way. I used to like going on trains. I like just going on buses. I used to do that all the time, and now I can't go there anymore. Now, what's the problem? Why this become an issue? And you don't really know. You keep working away at stuff, but you don't know why it's there. You just know it's there. It's this problem. It's this issue that you have to try and work out, but you don't know where to go with it. So going out is a problem because you're always thinking ahead, like, there's a problem here. There's a problem. What's the potential problem? How are we going to get out here? Even if it's meeting someone you know, you feel stressed. You feel stressed all morning. You have to go out. You just feel utterly stressed for something that's nothing to do with anything. It's just to meet someone. You still get the stress. Then when you're there, you get the stress and you get away again. This feeling you get away all the time. It's constant. It's, get me out here. And you're just sitting down talking to somebody, but it's this feeling of get me out, get me out, get me away. So where does that come from? You're wanting the communication, but you're some part of your brain wants away constantly. It's like, get me out of here. And that's hard to take. That's really hard to take. Because you can't quite figure out where it's coming from. But you're basically, all you do feel safe is in this room watching images. And that's not a great place to be. That's a pretty horrible place to be. And it's not like something you can intellectually say, oh, this is the obvious end game of something. No, it's just where it's got to keep this feeling in your stomach, pit your stomach, like, I've got to get away, I've got to avoid these people. Even the ones that are my friends. And if they're not your friends, it's even worse. And you've got this paranoia about everything that could possibly happen. And it makes it impossible to actually meet people and realise your brain's just gone cuckoo on you. So what's left is really just your own stupid brain and your own stupid insanity. And again, I'm not even remotely the worst. This is just my issues. I'm fairly mild compared to some people with these problems, anxiety, depression. This is just one person. If you look at all these other people, even worse cases, think, where did those problems come from? How do you find those solutions to those problems? How do you get out of that problem? It's more complicated than anyone thinks it's going to be. So what do you do? Who knows?